Canada just ripped South Africa's heart out with a stoppage time screamer. And just like that, knockout football is officially here at World Cup. But how will the rest of the round of 32 play out? Here are our ultimate previews. Welcome back to Sideline Story. I'm Yang Guang. Let's get into it. First, Brazil versus Japan. Alright, let's start with the chaos. This is, without question, the most unpredictable tie of the entire round. Japan made history as the first Asian team to cruise through the group stage unbeaten. And get this, their coach actually said out loud that his goal is to win the World Cup. Bold? Absolutely. Crazy? Maybe. But here's the thing, they beat Brazil 3-2 just last October. They beat Germany and Spain the last World Cup too. This team doesn't fear the big boys, they hunt them. And here's my favorite detail. When Brazilian forward Ryan was asked which Japanese player scares him the most, he literally couldn't name one. Not even one. That, my friend, is a classic trap game. Brazil cannot, I repeat, cannot walk into this one with sunglasses on. That said, Brazil still have two massive aces up their sleeve. One, Vinicius Jr., a guy who can turn a 0-0 snooze fest into a highlight reel in half a second. Two, Carlo Ancelotti on the touchline, who probably has 3 different game plans just for breakfast. If Brazil control the tempo, they will edge it. But if they let Japan hang around, we've got an upset brewing. Next, Germany versus Paraguay. On paper, you look at this and think, okay, Germany, easy win. But hold on, Germany are going to have the ball a lot. The problem, their defense has looked shaky all tournament. And Paraguay, they are physical, they are aggressive, and they know how to make life miserable for European sides. If Germany don't score early, the tension will build, the tackles will get harder, and suddenly you've got a real game on your hands. For the Germans, it's simple, take your chances early, or you're asking for trouble. Netherlands versus Morocco. I mean, flip a coin on this one, seriously. Both teams defend like their lives depend on it. Neither gives an inch. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we are watching penalties at the end of this. And you know what? In a shootout, either team wins and nobody would bat an eye. France versus Sweden. Okay, let's be honest, this could get ugly for Sweden. They are going to sit deep, pack the box and pray. And here's the problem. You've got Mbappe on one wing, Alisi on the other, and Dembele floating around causing absolute havoc. How on earth do you stop 3 of them at the same time? And the truth to be told, almost no team in the world can right now. Portugal versus Croatia. Now this one is fascinating. Portugal have arguably the best midfield in the tournament, on paper. But they haven't clicked, not even close. Bruno Fernandes still looks like he's playing a different sport from his teammates sometimes. And then there's the elephant in the room, Cristiano Ronaldo. No disrespect, but his pace is clearly different now. When the team is pushing forwards, he's either a step in front or a step behind. It raises a real question. Is his presence actually hurting them? Meanwhile, Croatia are aging. Modric and the old guard just can't keep that intense press going for 90 minutes anymore. So both teams are vulnerable. This one comes down to one moment, one flash of genius, or one mistake. Spain versus Austria. Spain started this tournament with a shocking draw against Cape Verde, and everyone panicked. I mean, relax, they've recovered, and now they are humming. Austria are going to try to keep up, but they simply don't have the legs. Lamine Yamal, I think he's going to tear that Austrian defense to shreds. We could be looking at a multi-goal statement win here. USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Let's talk about the co-hosts. The US had a bit of stinker against Turkey in the group finale, so they've got something to prove. But overall, under Pochettino, this team plays with European intensity. They press, they push, they swarm you. They actually remind me a bit of that 2010 German team that just ran teams off the pitch. Bosnia are tough, but I think the US gets this done inside 90 minutes. Belgium versus Senegal. This is an aging golden generation versus hungry underdog story. Senegal had some off moments in the groups, but their physicality still caused the problems for France and Norway. Belgium, they look old, just old, and they rely way too much on Kevin De Bruyne pulling magic out of his hat. If Senegal isolate him and cut those passing lanes, they can absolutely topple this Belgian side. Now, Côte d'Ivoire versus Norway. Get your ice packs ready because this is going to be physical. I mean, really physical. My big concern for Côte d'Ivoire is consistency. Once they start making substitutions, once their key midfielders come off, they lose that grip on the game. And you know who loves a tired defense in the 85th minute? Erling Haaland. If this game is still tight late on, I'm backing the big Norwegian to pop up with the winner. Mexico versus Ecuador. Mexico cruised through their group and they are feeling confident, but Ecuador are a war in midfield. Caicedo just eats up everything in front of that backline. Mexico don't play that old-school, silky technical game anymore. They are more European now. They will probably have more possession, but so what? And yes, they have the Aztec altitude advantage, but Ecuadorian players train at even higher mountains back home. So that home field edge, it's basically neutralized. This one screams extra time and penalties to me. Next, England versus DR Congo. I've said it before and I will say it again. England are the most balanced team in this tournament. Defense, midfield, attack, it's all there. DR Congo are a nice story, but that's where it ends. No upset here. England roll through. And now we have Argentina versus Cape Verde. Alright, let's give Cape Verde their flowers. They created a miracle in the groups, parking the bars to perfection. But here's the reality. They offered almost nothing going forward in attack. And now they face Argentina, one of the only two teams alongside France with a perfect record in the groups. Argentina have so many ways to break down a deep block. And I'm telling you, Cape Verde cannot keep that goalie streak going against this attack. This is a done deal. Now, Australia versus Egypt. I hear people backing Australia, and I just don't see it. Australia looked average, honestly. Underwhelming in their group games. Egypt, they are smooth, they are flexible, and they are lethal on the counter. Sure, Australia can bully you physically, but football isn't a body bullying contest. Egypt have the craft, the technique, and the pace to really stain the Aussies here. Switzerland versus Algeria. Algeria have firepower. Marie still has that magic touch, but their defense, yikes. After 3 games, they still don't know who their starting keeper is. You can't get away with that against Switzerland. The Swiss are boring, but boring in a good way. Organized, disciplined, and impossible to break down. I think Algeria's run ends here. Finally, Colombia versus Ghana. We finish with 2 giant killers going toe-to-toe. Colombia are flexible. Ghana are brutal and tough. Both have dangerous wingers, Luis Diaz on one side, Antoine Semenyo on the other, but neither has a cold-blooded finisher in the middle to get on the end of those crosses. My edge goes to Colombia purely because of the environment. They are used to this American humidity and heat. As the game drags on, that extra comfort zone could be the difference. That's our ultimate preview of the World Cup round of 32. But let's be real, in knockout football, predictions are just educated guesses. The beauty of this sport is that one deflected shot, one questionable referee call, or one moment of sheer madness. And honestly, that's exactly why we love it. This is the Sideline Story. I'm Yang Guang. Sit back, enjoy the chaos, and I will catch you next time.